Imagine a world where American farmers, not Middle Eastern oil fields, supplied 100% of our fuel. This wasn't some utopian pipe dream, it was happening, right here, in 1937, until it vanished. A universal plant, once a cornerstone of agricultural research for fuel, disappeared from federal discourse almost overnight. Its potential to secure energy independence for every farm family was immense, yet it was deliberately stifled, fading into an obscured footnote of history. What force could erase such a vital innovation? This wasn't merely about a new type of fuel, it was about decentralizing power. The farm fuel movement promised a tangible freedom from reliance on external energy suppliers, empowering individual farmers and their communities. Imagine powering your entire farm operation from the crops you grew, with surplus to spare. This was the vision, a self-sustaining agricultural ecosystem. But this decentralized strength posed a direct threat to a budding centralized energy industry, whose very existence depended on control over supply. By the 1930s, American agriculture faced unprecedented challenges, pushing farmers to innovate simply to survive. The idea of growing their own fuel from ethanol or seed oils wasn't esoteric, it became a practical necessity. Federal programs even explored these possibilities, recognizing the economic and strategic advantages of domestic, renewable fuel sources. The potential for a nationwide farm fuel economy was not just theorized, it was actively being researched and even implemented on a small scale, promising relief to struggling communities. The widespread adoption of tractors and motorized farm equipment created a soaring demand for fuel. For farmers, this meant a new dependency, a significant operational cost that tied them to the volatile market prices of petroleum. The dream of farm-generated fuel offered a way out, a return to a more autarkic existence where fundamental needs were met from the land itself. This movement gained significant traction, fueled by both economic necessity and a deep-seated American spirit of independence. Initial federal interest in farm fuels was robust. Government scientists studied the efficiency and feasibility of producing alcohol-based fuels from corn and other crops. This research was not fringe, it was mainstream agricultural policy. Early experiments showed promising results, indicating that with the right infrastructure, a significant portion of national energy needs could be met through domestic, renewable sources. The horizon seemed open, pointing towards a future where American farms weren't just food producers, but energy producers too. Yet, a different kind of industry was rapidly consolidating power: petroleum. Standard Oil, and others, were building an empire on centralized production and distribution. A national network of pipelines, refineries, and gas stations was emerging, promising convenience and scale. But this model was inherently vulnerable to any force that offered decentralized energy, especially one that farmers could produce themselves. The rise of farm fuel presented a foundational challenge to their burgeoning monopoly. The threat was clear: if farmers could sustain themselves with homegrown fuel, the petroleum industry's market share would shrink, and their control over the nation's energy supply would diminish. This wasn't just economic competition, it was an existential struggle for dominance. The stage was set for a clash between the power of decentralized agricultural independence and the immense lobbying force of industrial giants. The outcome would shape American energy policy for generations, often without public knowledge. By 1937, a pivotal shift occurred. The once promising federal farm fuel initiatives began to wither. Instead of sustained research and support, political and economic pressures steered policy away from agricultural alternatives. This direct suppression of progress was not accidental. Behind the scenes, the oil industry's lobbying efforts worked tirelessly to discredit farm-based fuels, emphasizing perceived inefficiencies and promoting petroleum as the sole viable future. The 1937 Alcohol Fuels Act was withdrawn or its spirit effectively dismantled, clearing the path for fossil fuels. The campaign against agricultural fuels wasn't subtle. It leveraged media, scientific opinion, and political influence to paint a picture of inefficiency and unreliability. The narrative was carefully crafted to ensure that the public saw petroleum as the modern, essential fuel, while plant-based alternatives were relegated to a historical curiosity. This shift wasn't driven by intrinsic superiority of fossil fuels, but by a powerful, centralized industry protecting its nascent monopoly and stifling anything that could threaten its control. While the mainstream narrative shifted, some communities quietly continued. The Amish, with their strong tradition of self-sufficiency, never fully abandoned the concept of growing their own fuel. They understood the innate power of seed oils. By pressing oil from crops like industrial hemp, camelina, or flaxseed, they found a simple, elegant solution. This wasn't about complex chemistry, it was about mechanical extraction, a return to basics that maintained their independence from external fuel suppliers. Their method is remarkably straightforward. Using a simple, hand-cranked or motorized press, costing around $60, they extract clean oil from various seeds. This oil, often a plant like industrial hemp, yields over 100 gallons per acre. Crucially, older diesel engines, particularly indirect injection models, run seamlessly on this pure, unadulterated seed oil with zero modifications. The byproduct, the seed meal, is then fed to livestock, creating a closed-loop, nearly waste-free system. A true model of sustainable energy. The Amish never bought into the narrative that petroleum was the only viable fuel. They preserved a technology and a mindset that allowed true energy independence. While the nation turned to global oil markets, these communities maintained local, resilient fuel production. Their continued practice serves as a living testament to what was lost for the rest of America, a practical, accessible alternative that could have empowered millions of farmers and significantly altered our energy landscape. The deck was stacked from the beginning. Between 1968 and 2000, the petroleum industry received an astounding $150 billion in government tax credits. In stark contrast, during the same period, farm fuel alternatives received a mere $11 billion. This isn't a free market, it's a market profoundly shaped by policy and powerful interests. This $139 billion disparity isn't just a number, it represents a deliberate national choice to subsidize one industry while effectively starving another of vital support. This financial engineering ensured petroleum's dominance, making it artificially cheap and ubiquitous, while natural alternatives withered. Instead of a vibrant, diversified energy sector rooted in American soil, we inherited a system reliant on global geopolitics and fossil fuels. The consequences are still felt today, from environmental concerns to geopolitical complexities, all stemming from a pivotal choice made decades ago. A choice that prioritized corporate profits over decentralized resilience and long-term sustainability. The universal plant referred to earlier is industrial hemp. Rich in oil, easily grown, and ecologically restorative, it holds immense potential. Today, growing industrial hemp is legal in many places. You can source seeds, use a small seed press, and produce your own fuel oil. For older diesel engines, especially those with indirect injection, many pre-2000 models, this oil can often be used directly with little to no modification, depending on local climate conditions and engine specifics. Reclaiming this lost knowledge offers a path to personal energy independence and an understanding of our forgotten past. Whether you are a farmer, homesteader, or simply curious, the power to grow and create your own fuel is more accessible than many realize. By understanding how this valuable secret was suppressed, we can begin to undo the legacy of reliance, and plant the seeds for a more diverse, resilient, and independent energy future, echoing the original promise of the farm fuel movement.